Alright. Check. So I had the fucking realization. No, I don't need to curse. I had the realization that, we discuss very often in the black community how cruel it is for a white person to tell a person of color or any fucking oppressed people. Pardon my cursing, I'm very upset. To tell any oppressed people that they need to work harder to get out of their oppression. Like, yes, we are conscious beings. We need to always be better to get out of our oppression. I understand that. But for an oppressor to tell an oppressed individual that they need to work harder to change their oppression when it's systematic is a blatant untruth. So from there, I'm a mixed child. My mother is white. This is her facts, her privilege. My grandfather on that side is white, and my uncle, her brother, are white. These are the type of white people who can walk into a job, meet Bill, Jane, Jack, Jim, Bob, and Billy, and easily, excuse me, within 10 minutes, probably acquire a dinner or an invitation to the country club, or maybe even a fucking position. And that's awesome because I have the same personality too. I learned how to speak to people. I learned how to charm people. I learned how to be a kind person, to be genuine, to spread love. I have boogers in my nose, I'm all stressed out and shit. So seriously though, check. And I say this because I want to acknowledge the pain that comes with it. And if anybody relates to it, maybe you can heal from it because this shit sucks. My mother taught me my whole life that I could change my situation by working harder. This is true. What she failed to acknowledge is that she was a white woman telling a black man that I could change my situation if I worked harder. Now we must remove ourselves from the parent dynamic and look at this strictly as A, white person with privilege, aka oppressor, telling B, black youth with a lack of privilege, aka the oppressed, to work harder to pick myself up. So, when I realized this, I called my mom, right? Because I'm 25 and I realized this last week, my first week of therapy. So I called my mom to tell her this. Within 10 minutes, the conversation dissolves and reverts to, well, you have to have earnings to be able to invest more. With which I respond, yes, but almost all my white friends are investing with things because their parents gave it to them from the get-go. Because that's how white money works. It doesn't make you work harder. So I wonder how much of my mother's white mind looked at me and saw a nigger who needed to work harder. And I know that she would never think that intentionally. But I ask, can we really see beyond the things we were taught in our childhood? Yes, we can, but only if we greatly work at them. So I say, hey, how much of you is still unconsciously operating through seeing me as a black person, not just your son? So I ask that question. And she proceeds to apologize for not teaching me more. And then ask, so naturally, what could I do to have changed that, to created better financial situations for you? I told her she could have helped me invest. She could have taught me better. She could have taught me the trade of real estate, which she does. Basically, she responded with, you don't want to work hard enough. You don't want to cut your hair. You don't want to change your appearance. You don't want to be part of real estate. No, I don't want to cut my hair. I don't. Because I have a fucking afro. And I have curls. And they're my choice. And my positioning in a capitalistic world regarding the sale of real estate should not be influential to how I am perceived by potential customers or anybody who would be purchasing anything from me. But that is the case in America for people of color who are not Eurocentric conformative with straight hair. No, I don't want to change my appearance because I don't want to wear a suit that makes me sweat in the middle of summer, because my intelligence is not to be judged by my physical appearance. That's classist. So in the attempt to change these things, you're right, I'm not going to conform to them. But I can't tell you how much it hurts that I'm not supported in that. That because my mother was born into the privilege of a majoral body, she cannot empathize out of her own the need for empathy for a minoral body, even her own son. So, I hurt. I'm sure other mixed kids hurt also. Fuck conforming. Fuck listening to your white parents if they don't get it. That's what it is, yeah. It's all love. We gotta teach them too. I love you, Mom.